Companies that use FreeQMS will need to update their current procedures or write new ones to accommodate electronic management and the great simplification offered by the FreeQMS out-of-the-box environment. This video walks users through an example SOP titled ISO 13485-2016 FreeQMS Supplier Management Procedure and explains why the SOP is written the way it is to achieve compliance with ISO 13485 and incorporate the features of the FreeQMS system. Like everything with FreeQMS, we encourage users to adopt the simplest, most streamlined processes available, as these often lead to the highest product quality in the real world. Simple processes are more likely to be completed, and complete processes produce a result. Let's open our SOP and FreeQMS side by side and begin. This SOP is available for download in FreeQMS, which there will be a link to in the comments section. Title: we've given our SOP a very generic but descriptive name. It's for management of suppliers in FreeQMS to ISO 13485-2016. Remember, although document numbering is an industry standard, it is not actually a requirement of ISO 13485-2016 to have controlled document numbers. Only that documents be unique and identifiable. If you are just starting your QMS, we see no problem with moving ahead with a simple title that describes the document as its unique identifier. Logo. To use this SOP, you should put your logo here. Purpose. This purpose statement includes some ISO language, identify, evaluate, manage, and also includes which requirements we're trying to meet, ISO 13485-2016, and states that we use FreeQMS. Most importantly, the purpose introduces the concept of risk-based management, the key to every management subsystem in ISO 13485. Our risk-based systems will evolve around FreeQMS supplier evaluation levels. This is an easy way to denote which risk level each supplier constitutes and break up reevaluation periods accordingly. Scope. The scope of our procedure applies to all suppliers providing goods and services to our company. Your procedure should do the same. To keep things simple and use 1345 thinking, we are going to go with high risk, medium risk, and no risk. How we designate suppliers to each of these levels will depend on the level of risk they pose to our business, our products, and patients. This should be the same basic thinking employed at every ISO company. Let's pause here. Our low-risk suppliers in our SOP have no reevaluation. What does that mean? Let's go back to our supplier home screen and click Configure Evaluation Levels. To configure suppliers for no reevaluation, we simply enter 0 as the number of days. This will tell FreeQMS that once those suppliers are approved, they should stay that way. Responsibilities. This section will depend on your company, but in general, anyone managing FreeQMS will have something to do with quality. Make sure to update your procedure to reflect who in your company will be management suppliers. Procedure. Now we get to the good stuff. We have a few goals here. Write a very simple document for a small company that incorporates elements of a standard operation procedure and a work instruction, a single document that both gives policy and guides the user on how to complete the work. Include the fields available in FreeQMS. Complete supplier evaluations based on risk, and comply with ISO 13485-2016. To show just how simple and easy it is to hit these targets, we will follow our SOP to create a supplier in FreeQMS. Let's click Create now. We can see from our SOP that we should have an idea as to whether a supplier is low, medium, or high risk before we begin. Of course, in the real world, we might figure this out during our evaluation. But for the purpose of our SOP, we will assume the supplier is a high risk to cover all the bases. Let's complete each line. Enter a title, ABC Coding Environments. Select Level 1 for high risk. This supplier poses a high risk to our customers. We cannot deliver our products without their coding environment. Of course, these examples are about FreeQMS itself as a maker of software. At a typical medical device company, they may be more component-oriented to products actually used in the medical device space. Add at least one product or service, regulations the supplier falls under, location, and a contact. For high-risk suppliers, an on-site audit will be required, as well as a review of QMS documentation, an up-to-date SQA, and a performance review through FreeQMS's built-in Monitor Measure Performance activity. A corrective action will be necessary if the yield is below 90%. For medium-risk suppliers, we'll review QMS documentation, establish an SQA, and again, conduct monitor measure activities, this time settling with a corrective action if yield is below 80%. Low-risk suppliers will not need any additional steps. And this concludes our video on the simplification of ISO 1345 supplier management through the use of an SOP. We hope you enjoyed following along, and as always, we look forward to seeing our users improve and thrive. Please be sure to check out our catalog of other FreeQMS tutorials.